How much time in a day would you get to spend by yourself? Like, how often did she expect you to hang in the same room as her? Versus how often you could have some alone time in another room? Did she control most of your schedule?
I would spend all my time in the same room with her outside of bathroom breaks and any time I would leave to get food or see my family. There were a lot of times where she would keep me from seeing them all together, but a lot of those times I would go anyway and just decided to deal with the consequences when I got home. Whether I was leaving with or without her permission, there would be a time limit, and while I was gone, I would receive text messages to guilt me saying things like, I wish I wasn't home by myself.
Any plans for the summer? I'm just COVID, y'all. COVID got me fucked up. Becky still goes and does things, so if I was to get COVID, it'd be because of you. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. Um,
Yeah.
I'm afraid to go do anything.
I go do things that are outside.
Doesn't matter.
Like we went to the lake the other day and chilled on the
Babe, I
on the
could
shore.
talk about this for 500 days in a row.
You think
You could still get COVID being outside.
You think somebody on the other side of the shore is going to give me COVID?
I'm not going to argue about this, especially online, because you know how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm very...
Amberlynn is very for stay in your house for the rest of your life. And I told her I'm not going to live like that. But no, I do not like to put myself in heavy, crowded situations like concerts or, I'm probably not going to do Pride this year. I know you're definitely not doing Pride this year.
I don't, yeah. I'm scared.
And I mean, it kind of sounds like you didn't want to be mean. You didn't really want to.
And I wasn't mean. Like, I snapped at her a couple times because she was timing my responses. Like, oh, what were you doing for the last 4 minutes? What were you doing the last 30 minutes? What were you doing? And then on FaceTime, I would look at my emails or look at my messages from my friends. And she's like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at your phone? Why are you looking down at your phone like that? Because I wasn't looking directly at her. I just got questioned. I couldn't even sit down and eat breakfast and without getting interrogated on what I was doing on my phone, and
well, I mean, Amberlynn doesn't have anything going on. She's not working. She doesn't really have anything to take up her time. So your life became her life.
Yeah. I mean, I was calling her on my way to work. I was calling her.
You know what? I will say this, Erica. This is exactly what she did with Destiny. Having her call her on the way to work. Whenever Destiny had like a 30-minute lunch break, she had to go to the car and she had to talk to Destiny, and they had to be on the phone with each other. And I mean, you can't keep that up, obviously, because I mean, you had a wife.
I was like, I like music. I have a broad spectrum of music that I like. And I like listening to music on the way to work. Who does not like listening to music on the way to work? And I mean, unless you really want someone important to talk to. And I was like, I would like to listen to music on the way to work. And that was an issue. That was an issue. And then on my way home, if I hadn't called her after the time she knew I got off, she would call me. And like, some days after work, some days you just want to drive in silence. And I know there's people on this chat right now that can agree with me. You want to drive in silence on your way home from work some days. And I couldn't even have that. And I'm not a victim here. Again, I'm not a victim. But at the same time, I had pressure put on me that I did not feel comfortable with.
The next question is there any proof/validity to the DV allegations against Jade? I find it hard to believe because of Amber's history with lying on previous partners and also admitting to being the violent one at one point. So when Amberlynn and Jade broke up, they were obviously still living together. And after we had established that her and I are just going to be friends, and she had already moved on to Danielle, her and Jade and I would sit on three-way phone conversations pretty often. Sometimes the conversations lasting like 5, 6, 7 hours. And honestly, Jade never gave me any red flags. She always just came off as like cool, level-headed, patient, hardworking, kind, intelligent. And I don't even know why she wanted to date Amberlynn in the first place. And Amberlynn did tell me that she has hit Jade before and used to go through her phone periodically, like while Jade was in the shower. But she did mention one time that they were fighting and Amberlynn slapped her, and I guess Jade like pushed her and she fell to the ground. And I think it was a bigger deal than it actually was because Amberlynn obviously couldn't get back up by herself.
I see a lot of abuse when it comes to you and Amber. People often mention financial abuse, which is not something I immediately think of when I think of abuse, but it's still a form of abuse.
When my mother passed away, me and my siblings received a portion of a settlement from my dad's job that ended up being around $5,000 to $6,000 for each of us. I was not allowed to keep it. She told me that the money had to go into paying the bills and my half of the rent. My mom had plans for when she would have received that money before she passed away. Getting it was bittersweet, and I would have liked to use it in some way to honor her. She wouldn't have wanted Amber to have it, and it really hurt, but she took it anyway. When I told her that I would like to do something with the money, she dismissed it and treated me like I owed it to her, and it wasn't my choice. She said that I couldn't have it because the bills needed to be paid, even though I knew that she was making enough from YouTube to cover bills and rent with no problem.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
Yo, Chopper, it's Pete. I'm uptown right now. I'm on my way to the West Bank to put a twist on this thing, you heard me? Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Now, I don't mean to sound rude, baby, I hurt you nothing. I want an independent woman if she working with something. I want a slim, fine woman with some twerk with her. See, you got a lot, but I can work with her. Want a big, fine woman with some pop, 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 with some twerk, twerk, with some pop, 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 with some twerk, pop, pop, twerk, pop, pop, twerk, pop, pop. Bounce your booty up and down, 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 bounce your booty up and down. Turn around and stick your booty out, stick your booty out, turn around and stick your booty out, turn around and stick your booty out, stick your booty out, turn around and stick your booty out, stick your booty out, bounce your booty up and down, 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 bounce your booty up and down, 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 bounce your booty up and down, 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 bounce your booty up and down, 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 touch your toe, bounce your booty, bounce your booty, bounce your booty, up and down, touch your toe, bounce your booty, bounce your booty, bounce your booty, up and down, touch your toe, up and down, touch your toe, up and down, bounce your booty, up and down, touch your toe, bounce your booty, up and down, touch your toe, bounce your booty, touch your toe, bounce your booty, up and down, your booty out, your booty out, your booty out, around, your booty out, your booty out, your booty out, your booty out, around, your booty out, your booty out, your booty out, your booty out, around, your booty out, your booty out, your booty out, your booty out, around, your booty out. She ain't got a lot, but I can work with her, work with her, work with her. She ain't got a lot, but I can work with her, work with her, work with her. She ain't got a lot, but I can work with her, work with her, work with her. She ain't got a lot, but I can work with her, work with her, work with her. She ain't got a lot, but I can work with her, 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 work with her. She ain't got a lot, but I can work with her, work with her, work with her, work.
Hello, guys. Thank you to anyone who is here, anyone who is new. Welcome to anyone watching in real time. I appreciate you. Playbacks, definitely appreciate you. Mods, channel members, patrons, thank you for always being here and holding me down. I'm going to start this off by making it very clear. I've never made it a point to apologize for my opinions when it comes to Amberlynn. I know trash when I see it. If you are looking for a more balanced commentary or take on Beck's video, it won't be coming from me. Amber is a piece of shit. Amber been a piece of shit. As time goes on, Amber just further proves how much of a piece of shit she is. And seeing that Amberlynn lost the control that she's had for so many years, we are starting to hear more and more of the truth. This is one of the reasons why, for the people who didn't understand why Beck is speaking up, no, I want Beck to keep speaking up. I definitely want Beck to keep speaking up. And also, I will get to the chat. And also for the people who clearly have money to waste, that's paying Amberlynn $10 a month to support her. When I watch that stream tonight, for the supporters, I better see people pressing this issue. You can support someone and hold them accountable. How Amberlynn still has support at this point, I will never fucking understand. Let me make something very clear. I try to be responsible with my platform, and I'm going to try to keep it that way. But based on that inheritance money alone, I promise you, Amber would have a lot more to worry about than mean comments on the fucking internet. I don't know where Beck's family is and why they didn't step up and step in and really get shit going. But everybody handles shit differently. This is the same Amberlynn who was holding back Beck to spend time with their mother that was dying of cancer. And the money that Beck inherited, Beck had to hand over for bills. I'm going to get really upset. So again, if you're looking for more balanced opinion, it's not here today. It's just not. I like to keep things light when I can, crack jokes when I can. I may crack a joke here and there, but Amber ain't shit. She ain't never gonna be shit. And I'm happy that bitch is living in a 500-pound body. Because if she wasn't, she'd probably be more dangerous. And right now, COVID is taking her ass out. I don't feel bad for the bitch. I hope her taste buds never come back. But then again, she might lose weight. But anyways, I just, watching and listening to that video, not many things surprise me anymore when it comes to the people I cover. Not many things really surprise me anymore. But when I tell you my jaw dropped, I said, run that back, please. Because I know I didn't hear that right. I know that's not what I heard, right? I know I'm tripping. It's early in the morning. I still got to wake up. I still got to, the cold brew got to kick in. No. Amberlynn, no worries. You will never, ever, ever get an ounce of constructive criticism from a bitch like me. Amberlynn wanted peace, right? I hope Amberlynn never knows peace. I hope Amberlynn knows as long as people like me exist on the platform, I'm going to keep dog walking you. I don't have to go to Amberlynn in her chat or tag her or do any of that. My existence on this platform makes me feel good because I dog walk bitches like her. Amberlynn is a piece of shit. You can have any opinion you want on Beck. Oh, I don't understand why Beck didn't do this. Guess what? Abuse does that to people. Oh, why is Beck speaking up now? I'm happy Beck is speaking up now. I'm happy Beck is speaking up while they started to heal, because the way Beck's speaking up now doesn't compare to what Chantel did. That's why Chantel made the circus that it was instead of it looking and presenting the way Beck did. I'm happy Beck speaking up. I hope Beck speaks up all through 2025. I hope Beck speaks up to the point that $6,000 or however much she may however much that handed over to Amber, I hope Beck makes that in the blink of an eye. I hope Beck continues to make money off of Amberlynn's big back ass. Again, you can have so many different opinions, but you cannot deny this is fucked up. The same woman that Beck couldn't go spend time with, Beck was putting on a timer, the same woman that Amberlynn left that nasty ass voicemail for, after they just got out of surgery, that's the money that Amberlynn took. And let me be very clear, as a creator who understands analytics, the back end, and a lot of the reports that those websites don't report, around the time that Amberlynn had Beck hand that money over, I can guarantee you Amberlynn was making anywhere from $15,000 to $22,000 a month. And if there's any creator on this platform who knows numbers like me, I know that for a fact. Amberlynn didn't need that money. They were living in Kentucky. Amberlynn was bringing in $15,000 to $22,000 a month. More, depending on what series she was doing. When she was doing 100 days of uploading, y'all remember those? She never really made it to the 100 days. I can guarantee you, minimum of $20K a month. Minimum. I dare somebody to challenge me on that. I know numbers. You guys understand numbers when it comes to live streams because there's websites that report estimates. I know numbers when it comes to videos. I know it very well. Amber's a piece of shit. This is the same Amberlynn who had Beck paying for Netflix and shit. Let's not forget that. I'm behind a lot. Sorry. Again, it won't be the most positive stream. It is what it is. Like, Ruby, thank you for joining memberships. I'm gonna miss a lot of people, but I'm gonna try to catch up. I'm gonna really try. I feel like I'm way behind. And Beck, keep your foot on her neck. I'm not playing. Keep your foot on Amber's neck. Pierce Plantain, thank you so much, boo. Amber game choosy sounds like a typical abuser game. There's so many things that is wrong with Amberlynn. I hope Amberlynn never gets in another relationship. And if Amber was to get in another relationship, I pray that that person strikes back. I pray. And if they don't, I pray they have a family member that will pull the fuck up. Anyways. Oh, I'm so annoyed. So fucking annoyed. I probably should have waited a day before going live, but whatever. Lita, thank you so much for the super chat. Charlie, you're absolutely beautiful. I love you so much. Your eyeshadow. Oh, thank you, boo. For those who do care, thank you. And Tiffany was correct. You were so on the money. I used the Wahala palette from Juvia's Place, and Chicken actually reminded me to say this, and I need to get better with this. For those who don't know, Juvia's Place is a great quality company, Black owned, and the pigment that you get from Juvia's Place is unmatched for many reasons. But this is the color I used here. It has like purple, green, and blue like reflex. It's pretty dope. I love it. I hope it's showing. It's probably showing more green on the webcam, but in person you'll see the different reflex. I love Juvia's Place, and you can get them at an affordable price. Speaking of affordable and money, could you imagine what Amberlynn spent all that money on? Probably food, Torrid, stickers, earrings, shit that Amber really didn't fucking need. Beck could have really did some. Imagine being left money from your parent that just passed and wanting to do something significant with it, but it had to go to that big bitch. It probably went to Cheesecake Factory. It probably went to Domino's. It probably went to one of the fucking mukbangs that she uploaded. It probably went to the fucking fried chicken shit that she uploaded after she got diagnosed with. I promise you, couldn't be me. Could not be me. Could not be me. Like, it's times like this, and I don't care how full of myself it sounds. It's times like this I wish Beck had a bitch like me in their corner. Because it's nothing to pull up on a bitch like this. It's nothing. I really feel like somebody in Beck's life should have stepped in and really stepped in. Regardless of Beck trying to stop whatever, no, step the fuck up. This is crazy. Whatever. Val in Pennsylvania, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I just got to get a lot out of my system, but that shit pissed me off. Abra, welcome. Oh, I should mention this too. To anyone joining Supreme or Higher, Amberlynn posted a community post, I think it was this morning, that she'll be going live 9 p.m. her time, which I believe is 10 p.m. my time. And my time is Eastern Standard Time. For those who don't know, I stream the members only streams in my Discord, and no, Amber can't do shit about it. Let's be very clear. So if you are Supreme or Higher, you have access to the Discord. Again, when I'm done with this stream, I'm going to wait to start hers, and then I'll tag everybody. So again, Supreme or Higher, it gets you into the Discord. If you check the description, there's a tutorial that will help you, that will walk you through connecting to your YouTube channel to the Discord. And then get in there and enjoy it in general, because it's actually a really dope Discord. History Girl, thank you so much for the super chat. Got a new car today for my birthday. Congratulations. Congrats, boo. I hope Beck sues or gets all the money back by airing large Marge's dirty laundry. I want Beck to keep their foot on her neck. Oh, first of all, congrats. Thank you. And I want to remember, because I ran the playback back last night. Novi, if you're here, congrats on your first apartment, boo. I feel like I didn't respond to your comment the way it deserved. So Novi, if you watch this, if you're in chat or you watch during playbacks, congrats. I know that feeling. You must feel amazing. I watch playbacks just to make sure, like, just to see what I could do better. And I realized I did not respond to that correctly from yesterday. Joanna's World, may Amberlynn never rest until karma pays her back. Thank you, that piece of shit. She thought Beck was beneath her in aspects, so never could grasp the concept of breaking it off, crumbling her narcissistic reality. Big love to Beck. Keep strong. Speaking of that, Saturn Moon, thank you. Speaking of that, for anyone who is not aware, yesterday, Destiny, Amber's ex that I call Dusty, posted a community tab post. They will be going either doing a video or going live with Beck. And they also reached out to Libby. For those who don't know the conversation that's been around the young girl that was in the video years ago, they reached out to Libby, so that's a big question mark, but we will be getting a collab from Beck and Dusty very soon. And yes, I will be covering that. Captain Morgan, thank you. I'm here and seated for this energy. Today is my 31st birthday, and I'm happy to spend it here. Happy birthday, Captain Morgan. Happy birthday. For anybody celebrating shit and y'all still here, I appreciate y'all. Please throw love in the chat for them, please. Don Diva, yes. Yes, we're going to go over all that shit. Yes. Amber ain't shit. Again, not a good stream. I'm telling you, if this is not the energy you want, I understand. But yes, piece of fucking shit. Oh my God, I need somebody to step for Beck so bad. And I'm not kidding. And if Amberlynn used to get mad at me calling her a sodium-filled whale, God help you. God help you, big bitch. Joanna's World, thank you. Beck wouldn't have been in the situation they were in after the breakup. Remember, I believe it was $200 that Amber handed Beck just for a U-Haul. I want Beck to be able to afford to buy a car cash from the money that they make talking about Amberlynn. Cash. That's what I want for Beck. I don't want Beck to take their foot off of Amber's neck until they buy a car cash. Brand new. Not even used. No. We're done with hoopties. Brand new. Brand new. Cash. Circus, thank you for the super chat. And before she just says Beck just gave it to her out of the kindness of her heart. Baby, when I tell you tonight's members only stream, the energy that I have for that shit, you do not understand. And to the motherfuckers who sit there in that chat and coddle her, speak the fuck up. Because for those who don't know, I don't write in chat. You guys are aware I watch it. I just think it's too much to sit there and try to, I don't do all that. I don't. I watch and I chat with my people in Discord. And then I bring it to the platform and drag her. Oh, actually, I forgot to end the poll. So the question was, do you think Amberlynn will continue to blame her behavior on BPD? There were 677 votes. 87% said yes. 10% said no. And sorry. 10% said it's Beck's fault. That was obviously a little joke. And 1% said no. That 1% is Amberlynn's bitch ass. Probably each one of her roles taking a vote. I bet you each one of that big bitch's roles has a sock account on this platform. And that bitch got a few roles on her body. Dumb bitch. Anyways, Just Jamie. Amber only took that money because she didn't want Beck to have it. Period. Amber didn't need it. When I tell y'all Amber did not need that money, I'm telling y'all I understand numbers. I can guarantee you that's what she was making. She's a vile human being. Please drag her appropriately. Oh, Just Jamie, don't you worry. Don't you worry. 2025. And that's the thing, because now I got Rosie in rotation, and you really, really should have left me with Rosie. 2025. Remember how people used to be mad at me in 2019 and didn't fully understand why I had the energy for Amber, and they were so upset at my delivery? Let me be clear. When it comes to 2025, my black ass, if you didn't like me in 2019, you're going to hate me in 2025. Okay? So maybe don't click on the Amber videos. Because when I say things, I say it with my chest unapologetically. That's why I've never apologized. We all gonna make money off of that big bitch's back. But more importantly, it will be Beck. So when y'all see Beck upload something that has nothing to do with Amber, I need y'all to go over there and engage. I don't give a fuck if you press play and put it on silent because it's something you don't fuck with. You get in those comments, you run those numbers up. I don't care if you walk away from your screen. Get in those comments. I want Beck buying shit cash off of Amber's back. Joanna, thank you for being a member for 29 months. Is this the downfall? No, it's not the downfall. When it's going to really be real is if wifey ever steps forward. And again, I will roll out the red carpet for wifey. And y'all know I don't even fuck with people when it comes to that. I don't do those type of conversations. I watch from a distance and give my commentary. Let me make it very clear. Wifey, Aline, Jade, whatever you want to go by. If you ever want to come forward, bring your ass right over here. I got you. Oh, Just Jamie, thank you. Thank you for gifting 5 members. To all the new members, welcome and get in the Discord. I could tell tonight's probably going to be very frustrating when it comes to that member stream, but we here. Ali Dottie, thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I hope everyone takes what happened as a lesson to watch for signs of financial abuse with family and friends. Never let people get away with this. That. And I'm happy Beck has the platform to really speak out loud. And for the people, oh, it's been how many years? Fuck you. It's Beck's timing. Fuck you. Fuck. I'ma get to this. Ooh, I'ma get to this. But when I tell y'all I was furious watching this shit. And I'm really looking forward to Amberlynn's members only live stream tonight. I better not hear not one excuse. Oh, she don't feel good. Bitch, I don't care if she come up there with a fucking CPAP. Sit your fat ass on that couch and have an intimate, safe conversations with your members that are supposed to be so supportive of her abusive ass. And let me be very clear for Amber, who always talks about lawyers and all this. Amberlynn is an abusive piece of shit. Clip it, save it, send it to whoever you got to send it to. She is an abusive piece of shit. And she deserves the hate following that she has. I am so happy her life looks exactly what it looks like. Look at you. Andy K, thank you so much for the super chat. Beck could have started a new life with that money. I'm not saying $6,000 is $1 million, but Beck really could have done a lot. Remember how, and I'm one of the people who criticized Beck. I ain't gonna hold you. When Beck came to the internet to ask for help when it comes to the car stuff, I was one of the people who criticized Beck. I didn't like Beck's delivery on certain things, but I dead serious didn't know that. I didn't know Beck handed over $6,000 to Amber. Beck wouldn't have never come to the internet. Beck walked away for $200 with $200 for a fucking U-Haul. So let me actually make that right. Let me make that right. And Andy, thank you again. Let me make this right because I was very loud and critical. And with new information, I could correct myself. Becky, for the way I dragged you over that GoFundMe, I apologize. Beck, sorry. Beck, the way I dragged you for that GoFundMe, I apologize. I was dead ass wrong. I have new information and I could walk that back and sit here as an adult and be like, yeah, I was wrong. No wonder Beck came to the internet. Who the fuck did Beck have? I was wrong. New information, say less. Now make your money. Let's get to this. And just so you guys know, I'm not going over the whole video, only certain questions. Make sure y'all went to, actually, that's where I fucked up. I forgot to put Beck's video in the description. I'll do that when I end the stream. To any of my mods, link Beck's video, please. And then when the stream goes down, I'll make sure to link it in a pinned comment. Make sure you run that video up. And I don't care if Beck's next title is coloring with crayons. Run it up, please.
Did Amber ever show what you think was genuine fear or concern when it came to her health and lack of mobility? Or does she just not care if she dies before 50? And did anything genuinely change after the cancer in terms of attitude or trying to get better, even if just temporarily? Good question.
She would sometimes cry and get upset about her weight. When I'd speak to her about it, what hurt her the most was always that she felt she would never be her goal weight and that she would never look the way she wanted to look. Weight loss is hard. I know it is. But it's been so many years since she started her channel that she could have reached that goal in a healthy way, including any slip-ups along the way by now, if she had really wanted to. I think what upset her most was not looking how she wanted to. Health was not the priority at all. Her career on YouTube was much more important than her health, and she said as much multiple times.
Because Amber has nothing to offer the world. Amber has no job security outside of this. And the fact that Amberlynn will never reach the goals that she wants when it comes to how she looks, and I actually think there's nothing wrong with that. To have to be vain about reasons to lose weight, I've never made that a secret. I think that if that's something you want, go for it. But the fact that Amberlynn's big ass will never achieve that makes me happy. Her legs will never look anything close to what she wants it to look like. Her body is, I mean, look, Tammy has a better chance of looking a certain way over Amberlynn, and that makes me happy. No, Amber's not going to lose the weight. No, Amber's not going to look a certain way. Amber's going to always be in that nasty ass body, and it's what Amber deserves. What happened to Amberlynn when she was younger, I will never change my opinion on that. Amber didn't deserve. But not everyone who goes through trauma ends up being a piece of shit like Amber. Not everyone who goes through trauma ends up being an abusive, narcissistic, manipulative piece of shit. So yes, Amberlynn deserves every bit of that 500-pound body. And you know what I'm going to change in the future? And I want y'all to hold me to that. And you know I don't say it often. Moving forward, when Amberlynn gains weight, we're not going to criticize that. I'm going to applaud her. When bad things happen to nasty people, let's normalize openly celebrating that. I do it with Chantel. Why shouldn't I do it with Amber? Amber, if Amber was to put on another 50 pounds in the next 3 months, I'm happy for her. I'm going to celebrate. Shit, I might come on stream and twerk. Put on 50 pounds. Shit, put on 100. Go back to the mukbang. Do what it is that you want to do to continue destroying your life. Because Amberlynn has actively tried to destroy a lot of people's lives. I'm happy for Amberlynn moving forward every single time she puts on a pound. If she loses weight, I'll give it to her. I ain't a hater. But for every pound that Amberlynn puts on moving forward, I am her biggest fan. And you heard it here first. Keep eating, bitch. Keep eating. I appreciate it. Let's see. Flawless Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. To the people who say it was years ago, trauma doesn't have an expiration date. That trauma does not have an expiration date. And the fact that people try to say that bullshit either shows me that you don't fully understand different levels when it comes to trauma, or you just want to shit on Beck because you're not the one getting the views and getting the income. Because I see that coming from some creators. Ellie's Notes, thank you so much. Welcome to the Gold Cluster. I got to keep reminding myself to chill. Because I really want to go off this whole stream. Valeria, thank you. Thank you, Valeria. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Baby, when I tell you, I actually was prepared to come on here barefaced because I was so frustrated putting on my makeup because I knew what I'd be discussing. It was going to be a bareface, like legit barefacing bonnet, but I'm like, nah, I got to give y'all a little something. I got to give y'all something. But yeah, again, moving forward, for every pound that Amberlynn gains, we are to celebrate. We are to embrace. Okay, let's normalize that. And for anybody who has a problem with me doing that, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Every day, thank you so much for the super chat. Black non-binary person here, period. Thank you so much for respecting Beck's name and pronouns. Seen a bit too much hate in this community. Love you so much. No problem. No problem every day. When it comes to me and my space, I'm not going to pretend there's not people who have different views than me, but they know to not try me when it comes to my platform and my space. When it comes to non-binary people, queer people, people of color, Black people, any marginalized group come first around here. And if you have a problem with that, it sucks to suck. I do mess up sometimes when it comes to Beck, but I will quickly correct myself because I'm not here to do no bullshit like that. And for those who don't agree, I don't give a fuck. You can't beat me. Remember that. It's me. I've been around for years. I think we know what's up. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna take it down a notch because when I tell you my energy is on 10, like you ever be so mad over something, you just want somebody to pick a fight with you because you just want to fight. Like that's what I'm on, and that's why I'm trying to remind myself, like, girl, tone it down because I'm on 10. And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm ready to fight. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm ready to fight. And no, I ain't fucking talking about Minecraft.
If she were to lose weight or not be a train wreck, she wouldn't have as many viewers, and that was the most important thing to her, more than any concern for herself, those around her, or anything else. Nothing changed after her diagnosis.
What was the worst argument you and Amber got into? I'm sure it's all just molded into one horrible hue, but does anything stand out?
You're right. There was so much fighting that it has all melted together in my memory, and they were all really difficult. It's hard to pick out just one. I think the arguments that stand out the most for me are the ones where I got so overwhelmed that I had to leave the house and get away. One time, Amber, Eric, Ricky, and I were watching Adventure Time, and Eric changed the channel without asking. Amber, even though she did not like Adventure Time, and even though it was Eric's TV, had a huge blow up.
Amberlynn, this big back seal had a blow up over someone else's TV, over someone else changing what was on the TV. I will never understand how this girl still makes excuses to this day. And even though, yeah, you could say, oh, that's a small example. That's not that big. No, it's a pattern. The entitlement, the disgusting behavior. Bitch, I'll be in somebody's car. If they change the music and I was bumping to it, all I could do is be like, God damn, you changing it? It ain't my car. You could change whatever you want when it's your shit. Imagine being that entitled. And let me remind y'all, this is the same Amberlynn who tried to pretend that they were Beck to get into a group chat that didn't involve her. This is the same Amberlynn that pretended to be a black gay man on a forum so she could sit there and spy, put up arguments, defend herself. Amberlynn is a weird bitch. And the energy that Amberlynn has put into trying to control people, trying to manipulate people, trying to be as abusive as she is, if she put a fraction into that, into herself and healing and getting help, Amberlynn would have easily been 200 pounds today. All that energy that Amberlynn sits there and blames on BPD and all this, if she had put a fraction of that into actually becoming a better person, improving her health, easily 200 pounds today. Now look at you. And this is all Amberlynn has, and I hope it's all she will ever have.
Had enough, and I left without grabbing my wallet, my bra, or shoes. I drove an hour to my sister's and showed up at her doorstep barefoot and crying. I just wanted to escape.
What was the date of the...
I just want to make sure y'all heard that. With that argument, Beck left their house that, again, Beck helped convince those roommates to let Amberlynn live in. Let's remember that. Those were Beck's friends. Left that house with pretty much nothing to show up to their sister's doorstep crying because of Amber. Again, Amberlynn deserves everything, her whole existence. And yeah, no, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, I missed a member. That woman, welcome again to all the new members, Supreme and Higher. The link to follow the tutorial to get into the Discord is in the description. You can follow that tutorial and it'll get you into the Discord. Get in there. It's going to be a ride tonight.
We have broke up live stream night. Great question. What was the pre-live stream, and more importantly, what was the post-live stream like? Good question. I don't think about these things. The live stream itself was so uncomfortable, with ALR just staring off into the distance and making Beck do all the talk.
I want to bring attention to this comment, actually, before we get here. And it's something I didn't connect, and I want to make sure I bring attention to it. Biscuit's comment said, Beck running off the way they did to somewhere safe is a trauma response, and that is accurate. I didn't connect that. Thank you for that comment. That is definitely a trauma response. But no, Amber wouldn't see it like that. And I just want to point out, and I clocked this early on, but I want to make sure it's heard again. One of the reasons Amber was also like, I wouldn't expose an ex, I wouldn't talk about them, I wouldn't do these things, is because Amber had a lot to hide. Amber was hoping Beck wouldn't speak as long as she wasn't speaking, because Beck always had way more on Amber. You don't think if Amber had something on Beck, she wouldn't be running her mouth? Of course she would. Remember, it was years after Destiny came forward and was starting to expose certain things. That's when Amber wanted to expose that Beck, I think, had their dad put a dog down. Something happened with a dog. I do not remember. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a Destiny fan, that whack ass bitch. But again, if Amber has something, Amber will share it. The problem is Amber doesn't have anything that can combat Beck's experience. And that's why her take was, I'd rather apologize in private. I'd rather not do this publicly. I would never do this to a partner I was with. Yeah, because you don't have anything. Let's keep it real. Foodie No Beauty, thank you for the super chat. Hey Charlie, what's up, chat? First time watching the video live and being in chat. Love y'all from Europe. Thank you. Welcome and get comfortable. Thank you. And above all, drag Amber. That's the only thing I ask from y'all. Lady Poe, welcome. Welcome to the Go Cluster. And again, you just upgrade. First of all, thank you for upgrading and getting that Discord.
Talking and responding to the chat. What was the rest of the day like? Yeah.
The day of the We Broke Up live stream was really stressful. She spent the day asking me if I was sure about my decision, guilting me about how she wasn't sure what she would do without me, trying her hardest to make me feel awful. I wouldn't be there to take care of her anymore, and that's what she was most affected by. During that live stream and the following ones, it was obvious to me that she was trying to insult me and put me down to the audience.
Speaking of those live streams, I say we revisit them. I was taking a look and I had to make sure I had them downloaded. I actually believe they're still on Amber's platform, but we are going to revisit some of them live streams that Amber and Beck did together and just remember. Because when you get new information and you look at past content with that new information, it puts things in different perspective. It is very eye-opening. And I was watching clips, and to know that Beck and the amount of money Amber was making during those streams, but to know that Beck walked away with $200 after handing $6,000 to Amber, those streams will hit a lot differently. And if I'm being real, I don't know how Beck would feel about that, because they would have to look back at a very hurtful time. But if Beck feels comfortable with that, I suggest Beck actually react to some of those older live streams, because I believe their opinions and the things that they see for what they are today would look very different from the Beck that was sitting there during those live streams a few years ago. Seeing that Beck is open to reacting, I actually suggest, if it's okay with them, to react to some of them older streams. Shoot, do it live. Do it live. Why not?
She really thought she was being clever. I knew I had to be there until I could get my things to move out, and with the promise of being paid monthly to help me get back on my feet, I tried to keep things amicable. I did try to clap back a few times though. For over a week, it was an emotional roller coaster, going from being completely fine to begging for me to come back, then emotionally manipulating me in an effort to get me to rethink my decision, and then being angry at me. Once Jade came into the picture, all manipulation toward getting me back ended, and there were no longer any moments of being nice to me. Everything became about rubbing this new relationship in my face and making sure I knew how quick.
Oh, I want to correct something, because I think I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Salva, thank you. It was $100, not even $200. Good to know. Good to know. And thank you for that. If I say something wrong, please don't be, scared to correct me. I need correction a lot. So thank you. And Bo, the worst part is you can tell Beck is still holding back. Yeah, that's that speaks to Beck's character. The fact that Beck is still holding back on a lot couldn't be me. Because if Beck was my cousin, I'd create a YouTube channel and just start exposing that shit myself.
Quickly she had moved on, and making the split up as hard for me as it could possibly be. She treated Jade much better than she'd ever treated me, and she made sure that I saw that.
Was Amber ever truly concerned about her health, like hygiene, mobility, etc., or was it all just an act, wishing the best for you, Beck?
Amber did say that she was concerned for her mobility and that she wanted to be more mobile, but never did anything about it while with me. I think that was because her online presence was more important than improving her quality of life.
Period. In seeing that it doesn't seem that Amber's mobility has improved that much, I want to take the time and congratulate her. I'm so happy that Amber has not improved much. And I would like you guys in the chat to join me in celebrating the fact that Amber has made very little to no improvement. So this is us being positive. This is us celebrating Amber. This is us being happy for Amber. Damn near no mobility has changed. And currently at over 500 pounds, she has COVID. We are so happy for you, Amber. And for the people who are like, oh, you're always so mean, look at us celebrating Amber. Thank you. See, beautiful. Great job. You go, champ. Banazul. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Charlie. I'm from Brazil. I find your live so good. It feels like a friend conversation. Thank you, boo. And we here to drag a bitch. Lots of love from us Brazilians. Thank you. All the way from Brazil. I appreciate you. I know that's right. Thank you, boo. And get buckled in. Get your drink, get your smokes, get your water, your hot chocolate, whatever it is, and get comfy. Look at all the celebrating in the. She did that. Right? Look. MC, I want to make something very clear. That doesn't go to you. I wish you happy healing. I wish you a speedy healing. So you could be right back here feeling your best self. What I wish for Amber, I do not wish on you. So send some love to MC. It will be a speedy recovery for you, boo. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Look at the celebrating in the. I'm so happy for Amber. And they say we're mean.
Just like with her health. She wasn't concerned about how that lack of mobility affected me either, and how much work and effort I had to put into help her due to those things deteriorating. As for her hygiene, she really never brought up concern about it. She would douse herself in perfume sometimes.
So this is Beck confirming something that we have said for years as viewers and content creators. The fact that Amberlynn would soak herself in fragrances to cover up that stank ass smell. Because again, for those who weren't around when I first came around, one of the reasons I think a lot of viewers did flock to my content is because I didn't hide the fact that I was originally over 400 pounds and had struggles. And Amberlynn sat on this platform and tried to make it seem as though she doesn't have similar struggles to the people like on 600 Pound Life. And I knew there was no way she didn't struggle with her hygiene at that weight. It was impossible in my eyes. But yeah, and this is Beck confirming. But Amberlynn will sit there and try to argue it.
Sometimes to help any issues, but that's all. I won't go into detail about smells or anything too personal, but her hygiene did affect everyone around her, myself, and others' personal belongings, and she did not show concern for any of those things.
Does Beck know anything about Amber's falling out with Crystal?
Thank you, little Aussie. Thank you, little Aussie. We'll see.
From what I witnessed, Amber very frequently reached out to Crystal. When Crystal got into a relationship with Nina, Amber was not a fan of having to share Crystal's time and attention with someone else, even though she was the one to introduce them to each other. Amber talked bad about Nina a lot to Crystal in an attempt to split them up.
So Amber introduced her ex-girlfriend to someone, didn't like them, and tried to split them up. Is there any part of her life and others' lives that Amber does not try to control? Imagine doing that. Amber, at her size and her health, will try to control everything but her own shit. Everything but her health. Everything but what goes in her mouth. She will sit there and try to control everybody else. How about you start with yourself? Control those takeout orders. Control the sodium you take in. Control those carbs. But no, she want to control Beck, an ex-girlfriend. Shoot, was even trying to control a married woman, which we'll be getting to. Let me shut up. Let's get to that, actually.
Told her to leave them alone. Amber made it seem like she was just parroting things I'd told her about my own experience with Nina and doing it to defend Crystal and to defend me and what happened in my relationship with Nina. I didn't want those things to come between them. What happened with Nina and I was unrelated, and I won't talk more about that experience because it doesn't compare to how Amber treated me at all. Eventually, Crystal got fed up and cut Amber off, understandably.
You recently said that Amber used to be so mean to her mom, that she would make her cry. Did Amber ever make you cry in front of her? And what was Amber's response to seeing you and or her mother crying?
Amber made me cry many, many times in front of her. For someone who claims to be an empath, she really seemed to enjoy making people angry or pushing someone to their emotional limit based on how often she would do that to me and anyone else around her. Amber's reaction was always to not acknowledge that the emotional response was due to her actions. We were always made to feel like we were exaggerating or that whatever was done to us wasn't a big deal. We just shouldn't be upset with her. She would say that she didn't understand why we were upset.
Doesn't that sound similar to how Amberlynn approaches the criticism and the backlash that she gets on the platform? She doesn't understand the reaction that she gets from other people because only her feelings matter. This is the same Amberlynn who feels like she's dehumanized, she's being silent, she's doing all these things, but she's done worse. It's almost as if the behavior on the platform that she's had mirrors what she does in her private life. No one can argue that Amberlynn is a piece of shit. And again, she deserves the hate following that she has.
She could never understand why her actions and the things she said could hurt or upset others. I do think she understood, but she just did not care at all. If someone upset Amber, though, it was everyone's problem, and there was no such thing as an overreaction.
How much time in a day would you get to spend by yourself? Like, how often did she expect you to hang in the same room as her? Versus how often you could have some alone time in another room. Did she control most of your schedule?
I included other clips in this from what you saw in the intro. I really want to hone in on Amberlynn's controlling, disgusting, weird-ass behavior.
I would spend all my time in the same room with her outside of bathroom breaks and any time I would leave to get food or see my family. There were a lot of times where she would keep me from seeing them all together, but a lot of those times I would go anyway and just decided to deal with the consequences when I got home. Whether I was leaving with or without her permission, there would be a time limit, and while I was gone, I would receive text messages to guilt me saying things like, I wish I wasn't home by myself.
Any plans for the summer?
This is from a stream, one of the streams that they had back in 2021. And pay attention to this.
I'm just COVID, y'all. COVID got me fucked up. Becky still goes and does things, so if I was to get COVID, it'd be because of you. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade.
So because Beck would leave their home, most likely to spend time with their family, Amberlynn, the guilt that Amberlynn would put on Beck is the possibility of getting COVID. And let's be clear, Amberlynn didn't care about that. Amberlynn cared about the fact that Beck would be leaving. Because I'm sure those trips to Walmart didn't stop, did it? I'm sure those errands didn't stop. But Beck possibly spending time apart from Amber, not helping Amber wipe that dirty ass neck or that big ass body or possibly wipe her ass. Oh no, COVID. No, I don't want to deal with that. Got it. AC Hill, thank you so much, boo. Thank you for the super chat. Welcome in, boo. It's going to be one of them streams.
I'm afraid
I
to
go-
go do anything.
I go do things that are outside.
Doesn't matter.
Like we went to the lake the other day and chilled on the.
Babe, I
on
could
the
I could
shore.
talk about this for 500 days in a row.
You think
You could still get COVID being outside.
You think somebody on the other side of the shore is going to give me COVID?
I'm not going to argue about this, especially online, because you know how I feel.
Yeah.
This is on live stream in front of thousands, mind you. Imagine how those conversations went when no one was listening or looking. I think this is probably delicate and light work compared to how Amber was trying to guilt Beck from not leaving their home to spend time with their family. It's not like Beck was running the street doing some crazy shit. Where did Beck really go? Beck would only run errands for Amber and try to spend time with their friends and family. More importantly, their family. Losing their mom to cancer. Trying to grieve that. Trying to stay together as a family. So imagine that. Smoking Scrubs, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so glad Beck is finally telling their side of the story. Amber is fucking gross. Yes, that. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. And again, mods, please routinely link Beck's last video or their channel. I'd appreciate it. I want those numbers run the fuck up. The goal, Beck buying something cash. I don't care how extravagant it sounds. Cash. I appreciate y'all for being here. Exactly, fit and curvy. More importantly, Beck being around people that wanted them to leave Amber. Amber couldn't have those people in Beck's ear. Yes. That part. It's almost as if these things line up with the patterns of an abuser. See, when we go down the list of things that Beck has shared, the first thing that comes to mind isn't someone with BPD. No. It sounds like an abuser to me. But Amber will deny that and somehow become the victim or attempt to. Ain't that something?
Amberlynn
is very for stay in your house for the rest of your life. And I told her I'm not going to live like that.
That. I was so happy when Beck said that. And I told her I'm not going to live like that. That. Amber is very much stay in the house, stay away from other people, stay away from anyone who isn't me, because Beck's job was to be there and cater to Amberlynn's needs, nothing more.
But no, I do not like to put myself in heavy, crowded situations like concerts or, I'm probably not going to do Pride this year. I know you're definitely not doing Pride this year.
I'm scared.
And I mean, it kind of sounds like.
I want to remind y'all of the married woman that Amberlynn really thought she was going to be a side chick to, and somehow win that over. I want to remind y'all of this here. Again, Amberlynn is controlling or attempts to be controlling no matter the relationship. Even when Amber knows she's a whole side bitch to a married woman, Amberlynn will definitely try to exercise that controlling behavior. Let's take a look back, shall we?
You didn't want to be mean. You didn't really want to.
And I wasn't mean. Like, I snapped at her a couple times because she was timing my responses. Like, oh, what were you doing for the last 4 minutes? What were you doing the last 30 minutes? What were you doing? And then on FaceTime, I would look at my emails or look at my messages from my friends. And she's like, what are you doing?
So remember how Beck would say Amber would time them? Amber was also timing. What is this cheater's name again? I think Erica. Amber would also be timing this married woman just from not responding within a few minutes. Amber calls it BPD, which can explain some things, but no, she's a controlling, abusive piece of shit. Okay, yeah, Erica, perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, because Tommy's name, I remember Tommy's name now. But doesn't this sound so familiar? It's interesting how so many different people have similar stories when it comes to Amber, but everyone else is the liar while Amber is a victim in some way. How does that work? Okay.
Why are you looking at your phone? Why are you looking down at your phone like that? Because I wasn't looking directly at her. I just got questioned. I couldn't even sit down and eat breakfast and without getting interrogated on what I was doing on my phone.
Oh.
And
Well, I mean, Amberlynn doesn't have anything going on. She's not working. She doesn't really have anything to take up her time. So your life became her life.
yeah, I mean, I was calling her on my way to work. I was calling her
And this
on
is,
my
you know what? I will say this, Erica. This is exactly what she did with Destiny. Having her call her on the way to work.
Yep.
Whenever Destiny had like a 30-minute lunch break, she had to go to the car and she had to talk to Destiny, and they had to be
yeah.
on the phone with each other. And I mean, you can't keep that up, obviously, because I mean, you had a wife.
Not only did Erica have a wife, Amber was aware of that, and still Amber wanted access to track Erica. Now, let's not forget, Amber at one point, she no longer has it, had access to Tommy's cameras, Tommy's home cameras. I wonder how that came about. I want to know what conversation or conversations led up to Tommy giving access to Amberlynn when it comes to the home cameras. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't some lighthearted conversation that led to that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it probably had to do with Amber feeling she needed more control over Tommy. I'm speculating, but based on past behavior, I do wonder what led to Tommy giving Amber that access. It'd be interesting to know that answer. Coca-Cola, welcome. Welcome to the Gold Cluster. Again, anyone who is joining memberships, the second tier or higher, supreme or higher, the description has a tutorial so you could get into the Discord. And if you are going to join, tonight would probably be the night because it's probably gonna be popping in there. And just don't be intimidated by how fast the chat goes, because I remember it was 2 streams ago, we was in there popping our shit. Amber should be happy that the people that was popping their shit was popping it in my Discord, because we were dragging the dog shit out of her a couple of streams ago. Mercury, thank you so much for the super chat. Funny, looking through all my psych textbooks, being abusive isn't a symptom of any medical illness. Interesting, right? Amber must have the special BPD, right? It's always something special. She's always a special case. Huh. Thank you, Mercury. Ain't that funny how that works out? Orbits, welcome. Welcome to the Go Cluster to all the new members. Abra, thank you so much. Not only did you join memberships, baby, you joined the welfare fund. I know that's right. Thank you, boo. I actually got a suggestion, and I might do that. I might link the welfare fund and my boob job fund into the same tier, like the same exact tier. I'm not gonna make a separate one because I got a couple of comments. They were like, instead of doing like a stream in the future to finally get this reduction, they were like, you should do a tier. And I was just like, that actually sounds good, but I already got a high tier. So thank you so much. Seriously, anyone who joins the welfare fund, like, baby, thank you. Thank you. Just Jamie, thank you. What the fuck? Thank you so much and welcome new members. Oh, Just Jamie trying to get it popping tonight in the Discord. I know that's right. Oh, I'm so excited to dog walk this bitch tonight with y'all. Oh, Amber, it's gonna be ugly for you for the rest of the year. I would say dirty, but you already dirty, dumbass. Hey, it's Kiki. Welcome. Welcome to the Go Cluster. I appreciate y'all so much. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Frugality, welcome, welcome. And if I didn't say that right, just pretend I did. Just pretend I did. Just remember, y'all, English was my second language. But I appreciate you. Little Nikki, thank you so much for the super chat. I have BPD and she frustrates me, blaming her abusive behavior on hers. Yes, BPD can cause people to have intense emotions and make you fearless of abandonment. It is not an excuse for flat out abuse. You know how many people with BPD have said something similar? And I understand why that would frustrate you. I definitely do. I definitely do. Even though I may not understand your lived experience living with BPD and overcoming that and working through it, and shout outs to you. Shout outs to you for doing what the fuck you have to do. I could only imagine sitting back with someone with BPD and watching her do this shit. And the sad part is, yes, she has a big hate following, but there are enough people, because her following's so big, there's enough people that probably believe that bullshit. That's the truth. Abby C, welcome. Welcome, boo. Welcome. Alrighty. Again, to all new members, the description will have the tutorial to get into the Discord. I better see that shit lit the fuck up when I get off this stream. Welcome, welcome. Tiffany. Where's Tiffany? Where's Tiffany? Fuck. I'm trying to find your comment. Give me 1 second, guys, and I'm going to get to it. I've been fucking with Tiffany for a while. Tiffany, get on Twitter, DM me. DM me your account. Get on Twitter. Hold on, let me just do something. DM me. Hold on. Yeah, get on Twitter and DM me. I'll send you the link. You've been rocking with me forever. You ain't got to worry about that. And I try to give out links when I can. JJ, welcome. I feel like I'm missing people. Welcome, welcome to all new members. And even if I know you're just doing it so we could watch the stream together, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all supporting me.
And I was like, you know, I like music. I have a broad spectrum of music that I like. And I like listening to music on the way to work.
Real quick, I just want to address this. Tiff, I know I don't got to. I want to. It's my Discord. I do what the fuck I want. And anybody I want to give a link to, if I fuck with you, you going to get it. Hit me up on Twitter. You ain't got to worry about none of that. Please. It's my Discord, boo. And get in there.
Who does not like listening to music on the way to work? And I mean, unless you really want someone important to talk to. And I was like, you know, I would like to listen to music on the way to work. And that was an issue. That was an issue. And then on my way home, if I hadn't called her after the time she knew I got off, she would call me. And like, you know, some days after work, some days you just want to drive in silence. And I know there's people on this chat right now.
Welcome, Bridget. And if anyone's having trouble, welcome, Bridget. Fem, if you're on Twitter, just send me a screenshot of a couple of things. Just DM me. Because I'm going to have like a good hour to 2 hours in between ending the stream. Because again, Amber ain't streaming according to her community post. She's not streaming until around 10 p.m. my time. So I'm going to have like a couple of hours. If you're having that much trouble, just hit me up on Twitter. For anyone having trouble, if the tutorial isn't working for you, hit me up on Twitter. I don't want y'all to miss out on that.
That can agree with me. You want to drive in silence on your way home from work some days. And I couldn't even have that. And I'm not a victim here. Again, I'm not a victim. But at the same time, I had pressure put on me that I did not feel comfortable with.
The next question is there any proof / validity to the DV allegations against Jade? I find
For those who've been watching me for a while, I always bring this up. I want to remind y'all, Amberlynn has never once denied this claim that her best friend Alexis made. Amberlynn has never denied this. Amberlynn actually won't even speak on Jade because, she said she wouldn't. I don't give a fuck if I said I would never speak on an ex. If you come up on this bitch and say that I abuse them, and y'all know me, I let a lot of shit slide. Abuse? I'm going to come up here, especially if it's not true, make it clear and dog walk the fuck out of Alexis. Amberlynn has never denied this. And even when they went back to being friends, her and Alexis never walked this back. So let's listen to it again. Again, an abuser.
it hard to believe because of Amber's history with lying on previous partners and also admitting to being the violent one at one point. So when Amberlynn and Jade broke up, they were obviously still living together. And after we had established that her and I are just going to be friends, and she had already moved on to Danielle.
I just want to point out, and I think it's a talking point that we never really stayed and focused on. For those who may not remember, originally Amberlynn and Alexis were talking. They figured it wouldn't work. Could you imagine if Amberlynn and Alexis got in a relationship? The messy ass breakup that they would have had probably a month later. Alexis would have been feeding us for years. I just want to point that out. That is where we lost the closest era we would have had to Chantel and Natter. No, I don't believe Alexis is anything like Natter. I'm speaking from the point of messiness and back and forth. If they even got together for even a month, Alexis would have been feeding us for the next 2 years. That's the one thing I'm just like, damn. Ali Dottie, welcome, welcome. Dee Dee's hot dumpster. Sorry, hold on. Dee Dee's hot dumpster fire, welcome. Time killer. Ooh, time killer. Not the welfare fund. I know that's fucking right. Period. Thank you. And I don't want y'all to think I don't appreciate any other memberships, but you got to understand that's a $10 tier to keep me off of welfare since, you know, all these racist creators wanted me to be on welfare. And that fund is there. And the fact that you're doing it in February during Black History Month, I know that's right. This is what we call online reparations. No, virtual reparations. Not you, time killer. You know, you just holding me down, but you know, period. Trash, thank you so much for the super chat. Well, we know Amber can't walk a dog. Sure can't. Sure can't. No matter what she tries to say. Bunazo, I really hope I'm saying it right. Matter of fact, get in the Discord and tell me how to say it phonetically, please. Because I know I'm fucking your name up. Thank you so much.
Her and Jade and I would sit on three-way phone conversations pretty often. Sometimes the conversations lasting like 5, 6, 7 hours. And honestly, Jade never gave me any red flags. She always just came off as like cool, level-headed, patient, hardworking, kind, intelligent. And I don't even know why she wanted to date Amberlynn in the first place.
That's probably one of the questions I would actually have for Jade. Why Amber? And what the fuck do y'all have to talk to Amber about for 6, 7, 8 hours? Have y'all seen, well, you will see it tonight. Have y'all seen a members only stream from Amber? The problem with me, I could talk forever. Anybody who's been in Twitter, what's that thing called, Spaces with me, or been in my Discord or been in voice chat when we watch shows, one thing about me, bitch, we gonna have a conversation. I don't shut up. That's part of the reason my streams go for so long. You want to know what I wanted to do, but I don't think it would have been funny. Like, you know how some people troll and it's funny? Like, Zachary Michael can troll and you get the joke. What I wanted to do is troll, but I'm not good at it. I wanted to do a members only stream like Amber and make it similar to Amber, but make it like better, like sit there and do my makeup. But then I'm like, that's probably going to be whack. And I talk too much shit to put up a members only stream and it be whack, you know? So that's why I didn't do it. But I'm like, I wanted to do something similar to that and just, you know, pop my shit, talk with y'all, chop it up, hold a conversation, come with topics. But then I'm like, I don't want it to fall flat and then I look like a clown. So that's why I didn't do it. But I'm gonna figure out something. If somebody want to recommend something like a way to do it similar to Amber, the only thing I could think of was doing my makeup. Because I could talk. I just wanted y'all to have something to look at. I don't know. Ari, thank you. Welcome. Yoga, thank you. Welcome. Just Aiden, I appreciate you. Welcome. Let me see. I hope I'm caught up. If I missed any members, I apologize. That's not my intention. Lady Poe, I will look at it as soon as I get off of Discord. I got y'all. For those who can't get in, I got y'all. Brandon the Broker, I appreciate you, boo. Welcome to the Go Cluster. Brandon the Broker, period. Wait, actually, Brandon the Broker, have you been here before? Let me actually get back to this because I feel like, let me shut up. Thank you. Because you remind me of someone, that's why. The thing I never understood, first of all, thank you for the super chat, Foodie No Beauty. The thing I never understood with Amber and Chantel, they do less than the bare minimum, just being nasty. Oh, let me read that again. I got to put emphasis on the nasty, raggedy part. Foodie Beauty, Foodie No Beauty. Thank you for the super chat. The thing I never understood with Amber and Chantel, they do less than ever. The bare minimum just being nasty, raggedy, filthy, trash ass bitches. That part wasn't in there. Online, they get rewarded for it. I don't understand. Because bare minimum whack ass bitches like them, they get rewarded. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's why I always point out mediocre bitches like them that gets a slide. But you ain't wrong. Again, the bitch part was on me, but I added that little spice in there. But I know that's what you meant to say, Foodie No Beauty. I know that I was reading your mind. Raggedy. Let me read that again. Nasty, raggedy, filthy, trash ass, big back, bare bitches. Okay, I'm good. Ooh, that actually hit a little bit. Anyways, Lady Poe, thank you for the gifted memberships. I appreciate you. Thank you. Brandon, I knew it. Get back on Twitter because I was looking for you. Get back on Twitter. And thank you for the super chat.
And Amberlynn did tell me that she has hit Jade before and used to go through her phone periodically.
So let's run this back a few seconds because I run my mouth too much.
They were obviously still living together. And after we had established that her and I are just going to be friends, and she had already moved on to Danielle, her and Jade and I would sit on three-way phone conversations pretty often. Sometimes the conversations lasting like 5, 6, 7 hours. And honestly, Jade never gave me any red flags. She always just came off as like cool, level-headed, patient, hardworking, kind, intelligent. And I don't even know why she wanted to date Amberlynn in the first place. And Amberlynn did tell me that she has hit Jade before and used to go through her phone periodically.
So Lex, who was best friends with Amber, is claiming that Amber told her she's struck wifey and used to go through wifey's phone. Huh. That's interesting. Almost similar to how Beck said that Amber used to go through her phone. Go through their phone. I apologize. That's interesting. Two-tailed. I'd rather sit through a 4-hour stream of Rosie's than be on a phone call with Amberlynn for 7 hours. I'd rather listen to a 4-hour story time from Rosie than sit for 7 hours on the phone with fucking Amberlynn Reid. Not a chance in hell. Hell no. Lex, welcome. Welcome to the Go Cluster. I appreciate you, boo. Hey, it's Kiki. If I had no ethics or morals like these two beached whales, I would have made bank. But mama, rest in peace, raised me right. That, I script that line my damn self. But yeah. When I tell you these bitches have been skirting through life, the fact that Amber and Chantel really have never truly been dealt with the way they should be dealt with in their real personal life, it's wild to me. Like, really think about the shit that Chantel has said on this platform, has said about people she used to be friends with, the things she spews on this platform, the fact that these bitches have never been touched. I don't know. I think I was just raised different. That's the real reason I don't say a lot of shit. There's certain shit I will never actually, I'm not gonna go into it. Just know I was raised differently. I seen shit. I make sure my mouth writes checks that it could cash. And one thing about me, I'm about that shit. And there's certain shit I know I would never see the daylight. That's why I don't go there. That's why I don't go there.
Like while Jade was in the shower. But she did mention one time that they were fighting and Amberlynn slapped her and I guess Jade pushed her and she fell to the ground. And I think it was a bigger deal than it actually was because Amberlynn obviously couldn't get back up by herself.
During the bad
Big ass was just sitting there on the floor, couldn't get up because them big ass legs. You think Amber's ankles and knees could support her getting up off that ground? Imagine being abusive. You fall down and you can't get back up. I ain't gonna hold you. I would have A-Town stomped the fuck out of Amberlynn. And ain't Jade from New York, so she should have had a pair of Timbs. You A-Town stomp with, well, it's really curb stomping, but whatever. You throwing a pair of Timbs or a pair of Jordans? For those who don't know, for those who never had a fight, I promise you, actually, you could also throw on a pair of Doc Martens, but Tim's really do it because Doc Martens way more than Tim's. So I'll give y'all a few tips. Don't fight on grass. Don't do that. That's one of the dumbest things you could ever do. But if you want to stomp, Tim's is the way to go, or Jordans. I can't explain to you like the scientific reason behind the Jordans, because the Timbs, it's obvious, but I promise you, if you ever stomp out somebody in Jordans, you will never forget that. And my favorite Jordans was the 4s, because I remember I got jumped a few times, but I promise you, my favorite time stomping a bitch out was in some 4s, Jordan 4s specifically. I promise you, you will never forget that feeling. But again, violence is not the answer, blah, 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 blah. The fuck?
Times where I was heavily medicated and depressed, she did spend a lot of time in the dining room where she would do puzzles while I slept. She did control the schedule, though I would sleep when I wanted to, except for all the times she would wake me up in the middle of the night to take care of something for her. When she wanted to fix the sleeping schedule, she would have us stay awake for 24 hours, then crash at 9 p.m. the next day. Then she would stay up late again the next night, or a few nights later anyway, making that entire day of exhaustion for nothing.
In the initial days post-breakup, did Amber try and make you get back together? Didn't think about that one. Or did she ever manipulate you to try and make you feel like you should get back together? Also, when you announced the breakup on stream, did she ever guilt you about it off screen? Or put it off?
I don't want to let this comment go. Like Ali Biss said, the things that Beck had to survive when it comes to Amber. Remember the state that Beck was in. And then Beck's being forced to stay up with Amber because Amber can't get their sleep schedule together. I remember I saw this comment in my Discord, and I do not believe it's dramatic in any way. So when I say this, I support that comment, and I believe for it to be true. No matter how you look at this, a part of what Beck went through was genuinely torture. And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not reaching. Some of the things that Beck has described while coming out with a lot of this is torture. I don't give a fuck how you feel about Beck. Beck never deserved that. Beck put up with way more than that they ever should have put up with. For the ankle thing that Amber went through, I pray to whoever's listening, God, I see what you do for others. I hope it snaps next time. And for those who are like, that's too far, I don't give a fuck. I've never wished well on vile people. I will never wish well on abusers, especially when they have a pattern of it. I hope them thick ass ankles or maybe that big ass knee just gives out one day. I will celebrate. Piece of shit.
Or put it off for long periods of time.
The breakup live stream happened just a day or so after the breakup. I think she spent about 24 hours guilting me offline and trying to change my mind, then couldn't wait to go live and publicly make me feel guilty for my decision once it became clear to her that the guilt trip wasn't working. Even while Amber was dating Jade, she was still saying things to me like, you should feel like crap for dumping me like that.
So Amber's big ass was in a relationship with Jade, treated Beck horribly during that transition of Beck leaving and Jade coming in. And even while being with Jade, was guilting Beck. You got a whole new partner and you still circling back, trying to make Beck feel guilty for leaving. How does that even make sense? That chapter should have been closed. There is no way in hell I've moved on from my partner and I'm hitting up my last one to be like, oh, you should still feel bad about this. Aren't you supposed to be moved on and happy? Wasn't Jade all these amazing things that Beck wasn't? It's almost as if Amberlynn felt like shit because Amberlynn couldn't do to Jade what Beck allowed. Because if I'm with a new partner and I'm an abusive piece of shit and they giving me a run for my money, and they got me kicking in the air in the corner like a big ass turtle when I try to hit them, I guess I would be thinking about the last person that I was abusing, the last person that let me control them. Yeah, I guess I would hit them up too and be like, God damn, I'm over here rolling in the corner because you wouldn't stay with me and allow me to keep abusing you. I guess that would make sense. Because I can guarantee you, she couldn't get away with a lot of that when it comes to Jade. So yeah, I guess she would want the old thing back, huh? Interesting.
Or, I can't believe you dumped me like you did.
Did you ever sleep in the guest bedroom? Why was that the only room you were allowed to decorate?
We slept in the guest bedroom every day. Amber didn't like the new mattress or bed frame that we'd bought for a decorated room. She bought it, then never spent.
Oh, I'm so behind in the chat and I want to bring this up. Rancid thing. Sleep deprivation is a torture method. Combine sleep deprivation with the choosy game and the lip picking. How is that not torture? For real. And then on top of that, had Beck sitting on that live stream to make her money to keep while saying a whole bunch of slick ass comments to them and hyping up the next chick, the next partner. Amberlynn deserves so much more. And by so much more, I mean the worst. Really, really think about that. Really think about everything Beck's been saying and everything Beck held in. And everything Beck is still holding in. Because let's keep it funky. Beck is still trying to be as respectful as possible, which is crazy. Really think about that. Diddy-lynn, welcome. Welcome to the Gold Cluster. Thank you for joining memberships. Thank you, boo.
A full night on it. As for decorating, Amber told me before we moved into the apartment that when we got our own place, she would be the one to decorate everything and that I wouldn't have a say in any of that. When I asked why not, she said, well, Destiny never cared that I decorated. I think the only reason I was allowed to decorate the guest room was because that's where all my belongings went anyway. I know she didn't like my style, but she never asked for my opinion or found out what kind of decorations I would like anyway. I know.
Of course not. Everything has to be Amber's way. Beck was always there to assist Amberlynn. Beck had a specific role. Amber had no intentions on loving Beck, being a partner to Beck. Beck was there to assist Amberlynn in every bit of her needs. That's how that worked. Percy's, I hope I said that right. If Amber had better mobility, she'd be on a 3-part true crime series. Clock it. Correct. Abuse, pedophile tendencies, manipulation, and gaslighting. Predatory. Damn, that's one hell of a list to be. You could choose to be, and thank you for the super chat, you can choose to be so many different things in this world. And imagine choosing to be all those disgusting things. Could you imagine that? Well, look at where she is now. And again, y'all run up Beck's numbers. I don't care what the video is that they drop, run it the fuck up.
Everyone has seen what my bedroom looked like, but I do have a much different style for living rooms and public spaces in a home.
Beck, you've mentioned that each time you previously tried to leave, Amber would make promises to change and that things would get better. What exactly did she admit to needing to change? And what exactly did she promise would get better? That's such a good one. Did she make any authentic attempt to change as promised? If so, how long did this renewed honeymoon period typically last before she reverted back to coercive, controlling, demeaning? It's too early for me to read those words.
While we get back to that, I just want to bring attention to this name here. Veronica. I ain't gonna hold you. For the past few weeks, I used to be annoyed with the Diddy-lynn nickname because I was just like, I don't want to mix Diddy into this. But you know what? Amberlynn Reid is Diddy-lynn. Do y'all remember the video of Diddy putting his hands on Cassie in that hallway? Diddy was abusive. Amberlynn is abusive. It's just the connection people tried to make. I was just like, ooh, I don't know if I want to touch that. But no. Diddy was abusive. Amberlynn is abusive. The difference is Diddy can run down the hallway and Amberlynn can't, but yeah, the Diddy-lynn name fits. For a little while, I was just like, "Ugh, y'all might be dragging it. I'm gonna stay away from it." But no. It's becoming more and more fitting because Diddy was controlling, abusive. Hopefully, they put him under the jail. So yeah, while Amberlynn is going around threatening lawsuits and all these things, and oh, she could take channels down, I want to make sure you hear it from me on my platform. Diddy-lynn fits. And if anyone was to ask me why I believe it fits, I can provide examples. Don't be an abuser, and you won't be connected or compared to another abuser. You see how that works? If you're not an abuser, you can't get compared to another abuser, even if the degree is a bit more. See how that works? I know. Sometimes you got to put the pieces together. Diddy-lynn it is. It has a ring to it, actually. Smoking Scrubs, thank you for the super chat. Amber loves to say we dislike her because she's fat. No, we dislike you due to the stuff you subject others to. That. She's the female Stephen Asante. Clock it. I hope Beck runs up a bag exposing Amber while trying to heal that. And thank you for the super chat. Look at all the Diddy-lynns in the chat. Look at that. And that is on my platform. See that? On my platform with my whole fucking chest, clown ass bitch. Actually, while we're here, let me go to a quick break. It's not the typical Chantel one, it's the Amber one. Let's go to that. Hold on. Go grab something to drink, a quick snack, and return for our dog walking to commence. Thank you.
You ain't got enough of this fever, I know. Nothing would remain and you don't wanna go. So go. Cause you're picking your pace, no time to waste. I wanna love you but life doesn't wait. You can't stay here and waste away. You need to taste every mistake. Fall out and get up again and again. Again and again and again and again. I'll be with you always. You don't need to be afraid. And I'll meet you up, I'll meet you at the. I'll be with you always. You don't need to be afraid. I'll meet you up, meet you at the end. Don't you know what happens to dreams you don't follow? They crumble. You know I can't stand what you're getting so hollow. So go. Cause you're picking your pace, no time to waste. I wanna love you but life doesn't wait. You can't stay here and waste away. You need to taste every mistake. Fall out and get up again and again. Again and again and again and again. I'll be with you always. You don't need to be afraid. And I'll meet you up, I'll meet you at the. I'll be with you always. You don't need to be afraid. I'll meet you at the end.
I haven't mastered the titty bouncing yet, but I could still give you shoulders. I could still give you shoulders and face. I just have not mastered the titty jumping yet. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Just keep me in your prayers. I am going to master the titty jump. You would think I haven't mastered seeing that my titties are so big, but it's not there yet. Matter of fact, watch me get a good push-up bra. Do I need a push-up bra? Fuck no. But watch me get a good one. I'm going to start titty bouncing on this bitch. Do you think that would bring me more memberships? You know how them girls... Y'all gonna hate me. I remember when Rosie first came on the scene, people were like, "Oh, she need to cover up, blah blah blah." Listen, I don't give a fuck. Don't let me get my titties done, or a better bra. Y'all gonna be sick of me. Y'all gonna ask me to raise the camera again. That's what y'all gonna do. Don't get me started. Frugality. If you go into the description, there's a tutorial there that will help you link your YouTube channel to the Discord. If that does not work, get on Twitter and DM me, please. Again, I'll probably have a good 2 hours before, hour and a half, 2 hours before Amberlynn starts her stream, if she don't come up with a fucking excuse, because she knows she about to get dragged. But yeah, if that doesn't work for you, get on Twitter and DM me. Even if you create a sock account, I don't care. You know, I know a lot of people don't fuck with Twitter. It's just that's where I'm going to respond the fastest. That's the only reason I say that. Amanda, thank you for being a member for 5 months. You are beautiful no matter what move. Thank you. Thank you. No matter what moves. Thank you. Amber's disgusting. Been here since kebab. My first RC and my favorite. Thank you. I appreciate you've been here since the kebab. Do you remember that damn trip they went on? Do you remember? And thank you again for being a member for 5 months. Remember how she made that wrong order and she was trying to hold back from throwing a fit because I think she wanted ice cream, but she really ordered cake batter or cookie batter or whatever. Oh, those were the simple days. I bet Amberlynn wished she could go back to those days when people were just saying free Becky and a lot of her content was pre-recorded, even though it still was shitty. I bet she wished she could go back to those days. 2019 and 2020, when we were just complaining about a shrimp ring versus today, where we can confidently call her an abuser, I bet she could go back to those days. I bet she wish. Now people coming out from your real life exposing you, bitch. T. Robera, hopefully I said that right. Welcome, welcome. And obviously you guys know I never intentionally mean to butcher y'all names. Oh, Baba, I like your tweets. I see a lot of your tweets. I fuck with you on Twitter. Hey Charlie, I don't know if you recognize me for I was not me saying that. I didn't even read the super chat. Yes, I recognize you. Happy to see you live. Thank you, boo. And you specifically, because I fuck with you on Twitter. DM me. DM me now so I can see it when I get off. DM me now, please. And if you're comfortable with Discord, I will never force nobody to go in there. But yeah, I remember you. Jennifer, thank you, boo. Hey, Charlie. Hey, everyone. I'm so here for Beck exposing. Yes. Get mamo. Yeah, I forgot you're one of my Haitian queens. Actually, Jennifer, how the fuck would I describe that? Like, translate that in English. For anyone who's Haitian, get maman or kola get maman. Oh, go malburikla. The way I'm saying get maman is ufek dim go malburikla, and I'm all over the place. But yes, Jennifer. Kaka sham foot rayi tifia, oui? Jennifer, mrayi tifia. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Et ou connaît yon nan cousin yo, patap jam kite sa rive. Patap jam kite any of that rive. Think about that. Becky, s'il te gen fami panu, that wouldn't have went down for that long. And for anybody who don't understand, Jennifer understand. That's all that matter. Oui. J'aime ta reme bat tifia, oui? J'aime ta reme bat tifia. Jamais. Fami pam? Fami pam? Never. Never. Fuck out of here. T, welcome. Welcome to the Gold Cluster. Jen, never. Let's get back to this.
In a row, and or otherwise abusive words and behaviors. Did she tend to escalate these behaviors to further wear you down and thus discourage you from another attempt at leaving? Your sharing as much detail as is comfortable may help many others recognize a similar pattern in their or narc abusive relationships. I'm getting a lot of messages saying that Beck's helping them. Yeah, what was she promising to change? It'll get better, I'll change. Change what exactly?
The promises to change would always depend on what my reason for wanting to leave was about at the time. There were a lot of times that Amber promised me she would get therapy in order to change her behavior. She never continued going after the first few appointments, so no progress was ever really made.
That's a pattern with Amberlynn. Amberlynn will offer fake apologies, take fake accountability, having these plans to move forward in a certain way just for you to shut up long enough for her to go right back to those same behaviors. It's a pattern that she's had on this platform as well. So I could only imagine how frustrating it would be for someone like Beck, who's in her real life, who takes care of her, literally wiping her ass, cleaning up the blood from her free bleeding, moving mattresses all over the house so her stank ass doesn't fuck up the other furniture. Imagine going through that. We're just viewers and we have this level of frustration with someone who we see through a screen. Imagine living with that person. Imagine the gaslighting that Beck went through, the manipulation, clearly the abuse. Imagine that. And the fact that Beck is still carrying themselves the way that they do with so much maturity, because that's maturity I do not possess. I do not possess that. So my hat's off to Beck. Because my conversation, my videos would be very different. Would be very different. I ain't gonna hold you, and y'all know I fuck with Mama Lynn, but I might have had to get Mama Lynn a few times. If I went through that, I would have had to get Mama Lynn just a couple of times, nothing too crazy, because I'm dog walking everybody in that family tree. Your brother would have got it, your daddy would have got it, your mama would have got it. Innocent grandmother, your stepdaddy would have got it, even though he just met your mama. Everybody would have got it. I would have been dog walking every motherfucker who's ever been attached. Shit, I might even throw Twinkie in there a couple of times. Just being honest. Just being honest. Luna Pog, welcome. Welcome to the Go Cluster, boo. And get in Discord if you want.
She promised that she would do better on her diets, that she would help to clean more, that she would be less strict. Her attempts to change were never really authentic. After each promise, she'd try for a few days, she'd be nicer and demand me do less for her, but then gradually go right back to her old ways. The less mobile she became, the more mean and controlling she would be. She became more confident in the way she treated me and in her belief that I would never leave.
Not only that, Amberlynn not only had the belief that Beck would never leave, Amberlynn was too confident in thinking that Beck would never speak their truth. And that's where Amber fucked up. I think Amber really went about this all wrong. Imagine all the shit that Amber was talking at first after that breakup, knowing what Beck has been through and was that confident. Instead of shutting the fuck up and letting Beck, giving Beck the money they deserve and letting Beck go heal and live a new life, Amberlynn was popping her shit, talking down, doing all these things to uplift Feline and shitting on Beck, knowing Beck had all of this. Amberlynn was too confident in the control that she thought she had over Beck. And look at where we are today. I've said this before and I want to repeat it. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I've said this. Seek respect over fear. Remember when I told y'all that? My uncle told me that. My uncle taught me that. Always seek respect over fear. Because if you seek fear to make sure someone's fearful of you, to speak up, to challenge you, if that's what you sought out and respect was never there, when you lose, when they're no longer scared of you, you're fucked. Remember, I've been saying that. I've said that a few times on this platform. Seek respect over fear. This is a prime example of what happens when you seek fear over respect. Because Amberlynn's fucked. Beck ain't shutting up no time soon. And it seems like Beck's just getting started. So buckle in. Again, to everybody watching, viewer, creator, that's why I said it. Seek respect over fear. And if you don't, good luck. It's Nid. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. I can imagine that smell of the free bleeding. Bruh. I don't even want to think about it. And keep in mind, Beck had to lay down next to Amber. At least Eric and Ricky had an escape. They could be in another room. Amber always wanted Beck next to her stink ass. Crazy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Crazy. Victoria, welcome. Welcome to the Gold Cluster Boo. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for all the love in the chat. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for understanding why my tone is the way it is. And it is what it is. I know I ain't for everybody. So thank you. Raven, I'm so mad that there's a chance that description is so accurate. Spoiled vinegar. The fact that there's a chance that is so accurate is what's sad. And Beck had to deal with that. Imagine being closed into a tight-ass car that Amber could barely fit in, knowing her ass stink. Forget the room. At least there's some space, a little bit of space. Imagine being in a car, running errands with this bitch, being side by side with her at all time. I'm surprised Beck didn't go nose blind. Really think about that. Eric and Ricky was able to experience life. Beck was Amber's slave. Them hot ass days in Kentucky, driving Amber around, free bleeding, barely could keep up with her hygiene. Really think about that. Beck sat through all of that.
It continued to escalate until the end of the relationship. She also knew that the less independent she was, the more she needed me, the more bad I would feel for her, and the less likely I would be to leave.
I wonder if you could give us more insight into your family's intervention.
Yes, I want to actually focus on that. And the fact that Beck's family had to even hold an intervention is what's sad. Amanda, thank you for the super chat. I'll tell Amber what I told my mom. I am disabled. You owe me compassion. You don't owe me servitude. Period. Respect goes both ways and needs to learn that. And thank you for that. But Amber doesn't understand that. Everything is owed to Amber. Amber will always be a victim in some way in her eyes. Everyone owes her. Like someone mentioned earlier, till this day, Amber will sit there and talk about, oh, I get hate because I'm fat. Are we all looking at the screen? Am I not a big back myself? Mind you, I'm a big back who was supposed to lose weight and failed that. Still get people who fuck with me. Still get mad support. So when they run with this narrative like, oh, it's because I'm fat too. I'm morbidly obese. I'm a big back. I'm a supreme big back. What's up? And people still fuck with me. I still get a shit ton of support. It's almost as if you're a vile piece of shit, you get criticized. It's almost as if you constantly gaslight people, you lie, you manipulate, you disrespect your viewers. One thing I never understood with Amberlynn, with the money she made, how she was so disrespectful to her viewers. That's crazy. I wonder what's the difference between my big back ass and hers. Failed weight loss, still big as fuck, never deleted my channel. I pop my shit when I want, and people still fuck with me. It must be something else, huh?
When they started saying red flags and when they started to warn you about the relationship.
My family saw red flags from the beginning. My mom, my sisters, and their then husbands all quickly had arguments with Amber. My family is not perfect, and some of them have very, very different opinions from mine, and not all of them support me, but my sisters and my mom did, and were nice to Amber. Amber would go out of her way to stir the pot and start arguments with them. My family pointed out.
Speaking of stirring the pot and starting arguments, I would just like to remind everyone, Amberlynn Reid left a nasty message to Beck's mom after getting surgery. Beck's mom, who is trying to get through cancer, who later on passed. Let's remember that. Do you know how comfortable in your abuse, in your manipulation, that you have to be that comfortable to leave your partner's mother that message? That's how confident Amber was that Beck wouldn't leave, that she would leave a message like that after their mother just had surgery behind their cancer. That will tell you how confident Amber was that Beck would never leave. I have friends who have shitty family members, who have shitty parents, that when I talk to them about certain things, I will tiptoe around certain things that I say just to make sure I keep it respectful. Even if the person I'm discussing with them is a piece of shit, I will tiptoe around and think about what the fuck I'm saying, because I never wanted to come off so disrespectful that I lose their friendship. You think I would ever have the gall to call up someone that's close to someone I care about and leave a message like that? Fuck no. But Amber was that confident. Just keep that in mind. Imagine being that confident that your partner will not leave you, that you pull some shit like that.
That Amber was controlling, that I was seeing them so much less, and voiced their concerns about my well-being while caring for her to the extent that I did. The day of the intervention, my family asked to meet me at a park, and I had no idea why. This all happened during the bad times, so I don't remember everything that was said. My mom was the one who planned it. She talked to my sisters and said that she wanted to meet up with me away from the rest of the family and talk about her concerns. My mom
I want to give you a different perspective when it comes to this. And yes, I think I overthink things, but I really want to paint you a different picture. Beck just said that their mother is the one who set that up to have the family get Beck there to hopefully leave Amber. Let's really think about this. Beck's mom had cancer. Beck's mom was dying of cancer. And she probably was thinking about what she was leaving behind. Her kids, her family, how they would be when they're gone. Imagine battling cancer, and one of the things you want most is for your child to get away from their abusive partner, that you set up a whole intervention in hopes that they get away in time before you die. Really think about that. Beck's mom is battling cancer, dying from cancer, and set up a whole intervention for her child in hopes that they would escape and get away from their fucking abuser. Those are your final days, your final months, your final weeks. That's what you're going to do. You're going to think about your family. You're going to think about the kids that you brought into this world. And what do you have to think about outside of them being disrespectful and leaving nasty ass messages for you? How do I get my kid to leave this bitch before I leave this earth? If you really think about that, that will make anybody sad. When my grandfather was dying from cancer, there were so many different conversations he had to have until he could no longer speak. And every conversation was him wanting to make sure we were good, knowing what things were in place. All he gave a fuck about was us, his kids, his grandkids. That's all he gave a fuck about. I couldn't imagine my grandfather then being like, hey, yo, Charlie, put this intervention together for your sister. We got to get her away from this person. That would break my fucking heart, bruh. That's why this hit a little different, because I know what it is to lose my superhero to cancer. Like, oh, I hate her. I don't give a fuck how that sounds. Allison, thank you for the super chat. If my partner ever did that to my mother, they would never know peace again. That. Let me get back to this because I'm about to be real pissed and crash the fuck out.
Mom and sisters all met me at the park and sat down with me. Mom felt like I was being held hostage by Amber and being kept from seeing the family. She saw the state my mental health was in because she had never seen it become so bad before. Because of that, she was really concerned for my safety and just wanted me to leave her in the situation I was in.
Was there ever a moment to where you...
I want to answer this. Petty. Beck was still with Amber when she passed. Beck was still with Amber. Yeah. Unfortunately, Beck was still with Amber.
You were in so much fear from Amberlynn that you wanted to call for help via police, family, etc. That's a sad one. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I ever felt the need to call the police. I didn't feel physically threatened by Amber, but I did sometimes feel like calling for my family, either wanting to just talk to them or needing to run to them to be by their side for emotional support.
Was Amber secretive with her phone during your relationship? Infamously cheated on Emily with Erica and was still talking to Abby while with Emily.
When we first started dating, she mentioned that she received a lot of nudes from people on Snapchat. I told her that it made me kind of uncomfortable, and she told me that she changed the settings or something so that it wouldn't keep happening. But I never looked to see if that were true. Amber was really secretive with her phone. She would take mine and go through it all the time, but told me that she didn't want me looking through her phone because she had private journals and insisted she needed her privacy.
So Amberlynn had the audacity to constantly go through Beck's phone, but Beck couldn't go through her phone due to them funky ass, repeated ass journals. That's so interesting. And knowing Beck, if Amber simply said, don't go to the journal app, look through whatever else you want to look through, Beck would have respected that. Granted, if you're looking through phones, the relationship's already over, in my opinion, but hey. So Amber could do whatever she wanted to Beck, but set boundaries for Beck. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Well, yeah, I think you've been respectful about Amber's lack of hygiene. However, I think it's a valid thing to discuss because it must have affected you. It must have had a negative effect on you. Was it something you tried to talk to Amber about? And would she get defensive if you did bring it up, or did you not bring it up but wanted to?
I would talk to Amber about her hygiene. I tried to convince her to cut her hair to make maintenance easier on both of us, and she refused. I told her to stop wearing the chokers when the dark spots appeared.
I just want to make sure y'all really heard that. Beck wanted Amber to cut her hair so maintenance would be easier for the both of them. Why does it sound like Beck works at a fucking zoo? Because why is there maintenance on Beck? Beck is sitting there wiping her ass, wiping her dirty ass neck in hopes that she cuts her hair as if it's fur to help with maintenance. That's a human being. Really think about that. Really think about what Beck is saying. And of course, Amber's not going to do nothing to make things easier on Beck. Why? Beck's there to cater to her, to all her needs. Beck better figure it the fuck out. Why would she make anything easier on Beck? It's bad enough Beck's mental health is plummeting. It's bad enough Beck is losing their mother to cancer. It's bad enough Beck got issues with her family, with their family due to Amberlynn's nasty ass. Beck's friendships are plummeting because Beck can't really spend time with their friends like that. But why make something easier on Beck? It's not like Amber got luscious hair. That shit is oily, stringy, and all needed to be cut anyways. But no, Beck gonna figure it out. The same way Beck figured it out with the mattress. The way Beck figured it out with the free bleeding. The way Beck figured out how to wipe her big ass. Beck's gonna figure it out. Stupid ass. Oh shit! Thank you, Foodie Not Beauty. Thank you for the super chat. I have a serious question. Everyone answer truthfully now. If you can fight someone right now, would it be because for me it would be the trashy, filthy, nasty. Let me read that again. I have a question, and everyone answer truthfully now. If you could fight someone right now, who would it be? Because for me, it would be the trashy, filthy, nasty, dog-looking bitch, Amberlynn and Chantel. It's on site. No Minecraft, period. Thank you. I want to give that one more try. I ain't gonna lie. It was throwing me off. I have a serious question. Actually, let me get it off screen. I want to give my best performance for this. Actually. No, let me use my lip liner. I have a question, and everyone answer truthfully now. If you can fight someone right now, who would it be? Because for me, it would be that trashy, filthy, nasty, dog looking, dirty ass bitch, Amberlynn and Chantel. It's on site. No Minecraft. Period. Okay, I just wanted to give it more. I feel like you deserved more, and that's a big ass super chat, so I wanted to give it a bit more. But yeah, y'all get it. Back to this nasty ass. And thank you again for that very generous super chat.
Behind her neck, and she told me it wasn't a big deal and that it was fine. I'm not going to go into detail about the smell, but it was brought up to me a lot by everyone around me, and I did have to talk to her about it. Her reaction was usually to blame her depression and how she struggled to clean by herself. Eventually, I stopped asking her to help herself because it wasn't going to happen. It did get a little better when we moved into the apartment with the large walk-in shower, but I did still stand in the bathroom and help until the day we broke up.
I see a lot of abuse when it comes to you and Amber.
She was wiping Amber's ass till the day that they broke up. She was helping Amberlynn and her hygiene and all her needs, even until Beck walked out that door. And Amberlynn had the audacity to allow Beck to walk out that door with $100 fucking dollars. I want to point something out to y'all, for y'all who don't know. Normally, a red super chat in USD comes out to 100 or more. I have made more in this stream from simply talking about this than what Amber let Beck walk out the door with. This viewer just gave me, a stranger online, simply talking about this, more than Amberlynn gave Beck walking out the door. Really think about that. I like to paint pictures. I need you to really understand what goes on in my mind. They just gave me what Amber gave Beck. I've never done nothing for that person. All I did was sit here and give my opinion. Never wiped their ass, none of that. Not saying they even need me for that. Why did that person just give me, a nobody, more money than Amberlynn gave Beck? Really think about that. That's what Amberlynn gave Beck. She deserves nothing good. And I'm referring to Amber. Just Jamie, thank you so much for the super chat. Amber proved she could shower on her own shortly after Beck left with that shower video. You clock that? She made Beck help her for no reason whatsoever. Control. It's interesting when that help isn't there. She figured it out, huh? Isn't that crazy? The same Amber who would sit there and go back and forth with viewers about, you know, how she wasn't bedbound, how her hygiene was just fine. Beck is singing a different tune. Beck is the reason that her hygiene was going anywhere. It's almost as if she knew she had that person there, that caretaker, that slave, that butler, that personal assistant, that chauffeur. Amber didn't have to do anything. Amber is not going to put effort into anything she knows she doesn't have to. It's the same reason after almost a decade, her videos, her vlogs look the same that they did about 10 years ago because she knows she's going to get rewarded regardless. Why would she put in effort if she knows she's going to get her way? Even if her views have dropped, I promise y'all, Amber's still making a big bag. You expect her to put copyright music. You expect her to put in some transition, some effort into her editing. You expect Amberlynn to come up with topics for a live stream where those people are paying $10 a fucking month? Why? She's still going to get paid. Her last stream, she said she had about 340 or 350 members. That's $3,500 a month to watch a 500-pound entitled abusive piece of shit sit on her couch and give you nothing. I want to remind y'all, $3,500 a month from the streams alone, the memberships. That's not even including the views. If you don't think Amberlynn currently is clearing $15,000 or more a month, You are fooling yourself. Yes, Amberlynn who gives you nothing. Amberlynn who doesn't give you editing. Amberlynn who barely want to come on screen and at least give you a good look. At least $15,000 right now. There are about 350 people lining in abusers' pockets. That's why she gives you mediocre. Why should she change? She's still going to get rewarded. And that's what pisses me off. When mediocre pieces of shit like her get away with it.
People often mention financial abuse, which is not something I immediately think of when I think of abuse, but it's still a form of abuse. Can you think of any big examples of Amber abusing you financially?
Amber constantly held over my head that she was the only one with an income. During almost every argument, she would tell me how she pays all the bills and buys all the food, as if that gave her a right to control me, and as if I contributed nothing to her life. I would tell her each time that if she felt that way, I'd gladly go back to working. She'd quickly say, no, I don't want you to do that. And she didn't.
I want to just make sure y'all fully understand that's abusive as fuck. Amberlynn wants to put in Beck's face that their life is funded by her. Beck wants to go back to work, offers to go back to work, but no, Amber can't afford that because Amber needs Beck's help. So how does Beck not contribute to their lifestyle if Beck is not allowed to go back to work because Amber needs them? But during an argument, Amber will throw that in Beck's face to belittle them, to put them back in their place. If you can't hear that and not understand and choose not to understand that's abuse, I can't help you. I can't help you. And without saying too much, I know that very well. I've experienced that. I know that very well. It's one of the reasons I don't give a fuck who I end up with in my life. I will never give up my independence because I've been in a relationship like that. When I finally walked away from that relationship, I felt incredibly low, damn near worthless. I thought it was okay to let someone who claimed they love me support me, but they never let me forget if I didn't cook a certain way, if I didn't do certain things a certain way. They never let me forget the car that I was driving, they paid for. The nails, they paid for. My security, they paid for. I will never lose my independence. I don't give a fuck who I end up with. And no, the possibilities of this will never happen. I don't give a fuck if I end up with Jeff Bezos. You will still see me either here, well, maybe not here, but I will still keep my job. For anyone who's been in a relationship like that, you know how that shit feel. They never let you forget. You ain't shit without them. They fund your life. You wouldn't be comfortable without them. And sometimes it's for the most small shit. It don't matter what you do for them. It don't matter if you're the traditional person that they want you to be. One wrong step, you never forget. And they don't allow you to. And it's to make sure they put you back in your place beneath them. Lee, thank you so much, boo. Thank you for upgrading. And if you are comfortable, get in the Discord. And you know I fucked with you for a while. Let me finish this, and then we could be done. Again, she's supposed to go live at 10 my time, Eastern. So that's like an hour and a half from now.
Couldn't handle being apart from me for any extended period of time. She needed a caretaker, and that was already my full-time job, and a thankless one. Despite that, and doing what I could to contribute by also being in the vlogs, when she knew full well that I didn't want to be, in order to earn the home I was living in her mind, she would also be sure to take away any money I'd get from other sources. I mentioned this before, but even being seen collecting change would trigger her to question whether I was saving up to leave her. When my mother passed away, me and my siblings received a portion of a settlement from my dad's job that ended up being around $5,000 to $6,000 for each of us. I was not allowed to keep it.
I was not allowed to keep it. Listen to the words coming out of Beck's mouth. Beck was not allowed to keep the $5,000 to $6,000 that was left to all the siblings, that woman's children. Got it.
She told me that the money had to go into paying the bills and my half of the rent. My mom had plans for when she would have received that money before she passed away. Getting it was bittersweet, and I would have liked to use it in some way to honor her. She wouldn't have wanted Amber to have it, and it really hurt, but she took it anyway. When I told her that I would like to do something with the money, she dismissed it and treated me like I owed it to her and it wasn't my choice. She said that I couldn't have it because the bills needed to be paid, even though I knew that she was making enough from YouTube to cover bills and rent with no problem.
And you heard what Beck said. Beck's mom probably wouldn't have wanted Amber to have it. Understandable. Remember when Beck was out with family to pick headstones? Remember? It was Amber sitting in the car filming TikToks. It was Amber who kept Beck away from their mom. It was Amber leaving disrespectful messages. It was Amber treating Beck like a fucking slave and still decided to take $6,000 from Beck that was left from their mom passing. Yeah, Amberlynn deserves the worst. Amberlynn is a piece of shit. And let me be very clear. There is no amount of BPD that can excuse doing something so disgusting, selfish, and vile. Amberlynn don't give a fuck about nobody but herself. And one last reminder, Amberlynn was easily making anywhere from $15,000 to $22,000 a month around that time, and possibly a bit more, while living in Kentucky. Please remember that. But that $6,000 was so important. Okay. Nomi Diaz. Oh, Nomi Digas. Nomi Digas. Don't ask me why I said it with an accent. Just ignore that part. Thank you. Welcome. Get in the Discord if you're okay with that. We'll be streaming. Oh, this shit pissed me off. Victoria, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm a housewife. Hubby runs a business. All money is our money. Period. All of our financial decisions are made together. We own a house. We own 2 cars. We are equals in every way. Poor Beck. That. And that's how it should be. But no, Beck was beneath Amber. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. But that's how it's supposed to be. And Beck didn't get to experience that. Mia, welcome. Welcome to the Gold Cluster booth. Thank you for joining memberships. To all the new members, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And remember, get in the Discord. For anyone who's having trouble, please get on Twitter and DM me. I will be going through all that in the next 30 minutes. Get in DMs and DM me. Just, I don't know, show me a screenshot of your membership, something like that. Just get in my get in my DMs and I'll get you in the Discord. Coral Queef, welcome. Welcome to the Gold Cluster. Thank you so much, everyone who joined. Thank you so much for everyone who's simply here to show support and hear me out, even though I know tonight was a bit harsh compared to, some other commentary that I normally have. So I appreciate you. If you can, engage with this content, but above all, fuck this, engage with Beck's content. But if you could do both, I appreciate you. Thank you again, and let's see what tonight's members only stream gives. I have a feeling I'm gonna have this attitude going into tomorrow, but we'll see. And try to do something that makes y'all smile after this. I know this is very frustrating, but try to do something to make you smile. I don't care if you just throw in a different YouTuber that lighten up your mood. You go, cracks a few jokes with a friend, but as frustrating as this is, don't let it completely consume you. Even though I sat here for over 2 hours being pissed at Amber, still go do something that will make you laugh. I'm gonna go to my Discord. I know somebody's gonna crack something in there that will make me laugh. So it might be a frustrating next few days, but just remember, never let a bitch like Amberlynn who's living the life she deserves. Don't let her have your emotions like that for too long. That's my point. But yeah, later guys, and I will see you again this week. And depending on how that members only stream goes, it might be either tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see. But yeah, thank you.
You guys know I have the mental illness. I have multiple. So like this has just been a lot. Just when I was like knee high to a grasshopper. What was that? I'm not trying to be cocky, but she literally couldn't get enough. Fingerlynn did appear. Fingerlynn appeared quite a bit. And I'm telling you, it's the best. Like, I love Fingerlynn. Like, I vibe with her even. Like, my knuckles aren't dirty. They're just dark. You guys are being mean to my appearance. And I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's weird. It's creepy. Oh, am I annoying right now? Okay. Are you drunk? No. It's more like a tipsy type of era / I'm losing my mind maybe a little bit. Situation type dildo. Oh, we done invented it, folks. Situation type dildo. It's a situation type dildo. I am a lesbian though. I am. I'm very much I'm strictly clitly. Okay. That's all I want. Why? I'm a lightweight tonight. I'm not some like immobile freak. So that is a situation. Like I need to go to sleep.